This
Raghu is going to
conference
start.
will now be recorded.
Okay, so this will be recorded. So I know, Ricardo, you said that your friend was not able to join. There are also a few other participants who have not joined. They will be able to access the recording. That should be fine. Okay. So I think in that case we are complete, and we will go with a very quick introductions, people. I just want you to give you a quick introduction about your background and then your aspirations to join this session, and then I will go ahead with my introduction and then how we have planned our sessions for you. Okay, so let's go around the table. We'll start with uh, Louis. Hi, Louis.
Hi, Hago. Um, I have 10 years of experience in SAP BP, and I work with IBP as I told you before. And so I expect to be able to understand the advance in the functionalities here in PPDS, and that's it. Thank you.
Great, great. Thanks, Louis. Then we have Ricardo with us. Hi, Ricardo.
Hey, Raghu, hi everyone. Yeah, I'm also a PP consultant. I've been working more than 10 years in that. Not at this moment. At this moment, I'm more managing, but I expect to learn um, a little more than I know about PPDS.
Great. Then we have Raghu Bomareddy with us.
Sorry, Raghu.
Yeah.
Can you come up
Thanks,
again?
thanks, Ricardo. Thanks,
Oh,
Ricardo.
okay. Hmm.
I'm going for the next participant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Raghu
Yeah,
Bomareddy, could you please
yeah,
unmute
I
yourself?
have 25 years of experience in SAP. Currently, I'm working on PP and PM module and little bit of EWM
Okay.
as well.
Thanks.
But I want to know more
Mhm.
about this thing, PPDS, the new technology, how it relates, what are the job opportunities in PPDS, does it have any demand in the market, is it worth learning or
Sure.
not? Those are the things I want to know.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Raghu. Then we have Tamal with us. Hi, Tamal. Okay, I think Tamal is rejoining. No problem. Uh, I'll go with my introduction and then I will, probably I'll continue with my screen
Hello,
share also just to, yeah.
it is audible.
Yeah, now it is audible, Tamal.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
I am Tamal. I am working high-tech system and service. Here I am working as a production engineer. I am looking the total software control, and I am working in the end user in PP. So I want to shift my career in SAP field as because there is a growth constant in the manufacturing sector. So that's why I want to learn PPDS and I want to switch my career in SAP field. That is about
Oh,
me.
great. Thanks, Tamal, for letting us know your
Thank you.
aspirations. Great. Now, before I go with my introduction, I just want to also share my screen just to ensure that whatever, if I'm writing something, it should be visible to you all. So let me share my screen and I'll take a quick confirmation from you people if it is visible. Once it is visible. So yeah, let's see now. There should be a OneNote open for you, SAP S4HANA Advanced Planning Sessions. Can someone confirm you are able to see it?
Yes, it is visible.
Perfect. Great. So I am Raghu Kumar, and I have been with SAP for more than 17 years now. I have worked with different modules of SAP APO earlier, to just to mention demand planning, supply network planning, PPDS, GATP. I was with SAP for implementation of major implementation projects for life sciences, chemicals, and also for automobiles, for manufacturing of construction associated fields, rope making, and fabrication industries. So these are the few industries in which I have worked. And coming to the new era of SAP offerings like SAP IBP and SAP S4 HANA, so it becomes essential for us to also realize that SAP has made a transformation to the overall the way how it is offering the solutions. So SAP IBP is a cloud. You all know that. Then how about execution system? What is the difference it has brought Raghu onto the table? So SAP has brought this advanced planning features right into the SAP S4 HANA box. You people might have heard about it. SAP S4 HANA is a HANA database which is owned by SAP. It's no more the older version how it used to be. It was Oracle DB, where it used to take the database ownership by some other system, but SAP now holds its own database. Right, people? Now you all would see that what makes SAP S4 HANA so special is because of lot of different, as you say, the features what it consists of. And it also I now I realize that you're all coming with a PP background, which is very essential for you, while you will realize that okay, how it is going to make a difference in the overall way of planning. Okay, so before I more speak about it, let me hear from you people about what could be the different challenges which we have heard in our previous experiences, right? So if I have to say, production planning, we have overall planning point of view. There are two essential things which planning is classified into: material planning, and the other one is capacity planning. Do you all agree with my point that these two different plannings are done separately in production planning? Is that yes from all, or someone has a different response? People,
Yes, they are planned separately.
they are planned separate, right? So now the very first advantage what S4 HANA advanced planning could do is it can do the both material and capacity planning together. So when I say together, it is like simultaneous planning. It's not planned separately. Now, this is a very important business change what a client could see when they use advanced plan. Now, additional to this, so let us also try to understand what are the different other advantages a client would be able to achieve when they go for advanced planning. So, so Raghu Bumma Reddy, so there was one question which you have asked, like how potential is this skill in the future market? So execution point of view, this is the latest offering what SAP is providing. Okay, you are okay with that? To
Yeah,
continue with that, or you have any questions? No, right? Super.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now coming back to the topics like what are the different advantages? Let's say if Raghu is a client and Raghu wants to implement advanced planning. So what are the different advantages Raghu would see when he implements SAP S4 HANA with advanced planning? The first one is reliable MAD. What does it stand for, Raghu? Material availability date. Okay. Now what it means by reliable material availability date? Okay. I'll take a small example. Luis, Ricardo, I believe you are able to hear me clearly and I'm not going too fast. Please stop me if you feel I'm going little fast with my English. Please do let me know. Is that okay? Can I continue with this pace?
Yeah, yeah. So far it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it's okay.
perfect. You please do not hesitate to stop me. You can say, Raghu, could you be a little slow? It's okay. I can try to be a little slower also. Okay. Now I'll take an example. Like you place an order in Amazon. You all know Amazon is an e-commerce site. No one requires an introduction to this site, let's say. So you say that Raghu, I have booked a new mobile phone. So Amazon sends you a notification. So just see, let's understand if Amazon sends you a notification something like this. Hello Raghu, your mobile phone will be available by 2 weeks from now. This can be one answer, what they can tell me. And now you see the next response. Hello Raghu, your new mobile phone will be available. Same thing by or on. I will be more precise now. 0905 or I'll say May 2023 at 11 a.m. Now please tell me people, as a customer, which response would you wish to have? Is it A or B?
Option B.
Is it yes from all? Ricardo,
Option B.
Louis? Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to say the response from others also. I agree,
Yes, of
Raghu. Very good.
course, option B, because if you have a downstream processes in your business, such as you um, sending it to your customers or you using the material in your operations, then the precise timing definitely will help you.
Correct. Well said. Well said. Now, this is what an example would be for a reliable MAD, right? Reliable. Okay. Reliable MAD. Reason being, you say that Raghu, I have a very clear understanding by when it will be available. I can plan according to that and I can make my arrangements in that way. Now, this is what one of the advantage that makes client to look forward for SAP S4HANA advanced planning, reliable embeddings. Okay, you could ask me, how does it make achievable? So I will speak about it more. I have already started giving you a hint saying that it does both material planning and capacity planning together. So we'll understand how the structure it would be, how the strategies they are going to apply that makes it possible, right? So the first important point that makes the client to look forward for advanced planning capabilities is the reliable embedding. Then I go forward to the next one is minute level of planning, or also we say it as granular level planning. Can anyone give a guess to what extent of granularity an advanced planning can do? Any guess? Ricardo Lewis. I'm speaking in the definition of time. So, to what extent of time calculations it could go next? It goes to the extent of seconds. So, it just doesn't give you a date something like this 9th May, but rather it can give you 9th May 2023, 11 a.m., 30 minutes, 20 seconds. Just I'm telling you a simple example, okay? So you would say such a huge complex process of manufacturing and giving you to an extent of seconds level of granular information is sufficient enough for us to manage our day-to-day operational effects. You all people agree? Hello? So minute level of planning of till seconds is a very important advantage that brings SAP S/4HANA as the next tool for planning. Can I continue? Any questions so far?
No questions.
No.
Great, great.
Go ahead.
Then coming to the other important advantage of S/4HANA is, so whenever we speak about planning, do you all agree that having a what if, right? So a what if scenarios planning becomes an essential thing, people, to have a what if scenario planning. I'll just tell you a simple example and let's try to see in the day to day life. We don't really have to go to a shop floor to realize this, how a what if will help you. We'll take a day to day life. So we are on weekend. Just imagine you say your friend calls you and says, "Hi, should we go to a good movie?" So the moment you hear this, and if you say that, okay, let's go for it, you say that there will be some small planning which happens, Raghu. Like, I want to see what is the nearby theater I have, how many people are going to travel with me, is it very near, can I take my own car or should I go for a public transport, is it too far, so how soon should I start to reach the destination, does it requires me to have something else in the process of reaching the destination, is it is going to be too far, so I should also have my food supplements with me, and so on. Now you say to a very small event like going for a movie, it requires this extent of planning. Just imagine, we are speaking about production planning. We are speaking, we are going to handle a huge number of materials at different machines altogether. So it of course requires lot of what if scenarios planning. And when you do not have this flexibility of what if scenarios, maybe you say that I do not have a right. Think about an end user, people. Think about the end planners who will be actually using. So how would they be able to make a right evaluation of their plan? Was it sufficient or they should have did some more changes? How would they do it? So they do not have lot of good tools. So that gap SAP S/4HANA Advanced Planning is able to achieve. So the other important reason what makes the clients to go for S/4HANA is what if analysis scenarios planning. Okay. Then the next important aspect what I should also speak about is interactive plan. As we progress with our sessions, we will realize that SAP S/4HANA with advanced planning, it provides us very useful planning tools which help us to realize very essential information and also helps us to transform the data in different forms, by which as a planner I would easily recognize what are the different pain points and how should I manage it. So an interactive planning tools not only brings the advantage for the planner to make his job simplified, easier and effective, at the same time it also makes it personalized. What I mean to say is, you all people might have seen a transaction like say MD04. You say, Raghu, it looks same for all of us. But when we really going to do a configuration in our system, in our systems and in our sessions, you will realize that you have a liberty, you have a freedom to make your planning tools customized according to you. So interactive planning tools is of course an advantage. It also brings user defined function profiles management. So how it is going to be configured, how it is going to be used, and why would a user want to make his own different user defined profiles. We will take a small business case, people, then we will realize how it is going to be fitted. That also helps us to really dive into the system and do the essential configurations. Okay. Now you all would say, is it really going to be a very useful function, Raghu, to have a user defined function profiles? You all agree we are only 5 members in this session, and you all agree that not all 5 members may have a right or the same smartphone with us, right? You say the reason could be you are attracted to some other feature of a specific mobile device. Maybe it's a cost, you can say it can be the feature of it and so on. So you say we will endorse different companies, right? The reason being because we have very famous saying, right, people? One size doesn't fit for all. So they have a different requirements. So giving them an opportunity for the planners to modify their uh, planning tools, which they use very oftenly, in accordance to their wish, is a very important advantage what S4HANA advanced planning can bring to the planners. Okay, questions to me so far?
No.
Okay, so then I should also speak about in S4HANA advanced planning, we will realize there has been a there has been some change when we compare it with ECC APO to S4HANA. That means the other reason why a client could look forward is it's a next generation tool, APO. For the people who have not heard about APO, it stands for Advanced Planning and Optimization. So why am I saying it as replacing APO? So SAP has officially announced 2026, or it can be prolonged to 2030, let's say, people. So 2030 would be a sunset for APO. So this has been a planning tool which has been used for more than 2 decades, right? But because of different other additional functions, now which we have, for example, so I see they were one of the participants who was already working with IBP. So we still had those features with the very basic ones in advanced planning APO. So they bought cloud technology enabled SAP IBP, integrated business planning, people. So in this area, I have also been contributing for CIDS and also for SAP IBP for demand planning, inventory, S&OP, and so on. I'll brief about it whenever we get some more, speaking about how the new architectures would be, how a client could, select how S4HANA will be implemented. Then I will retouch this point. But just at this stage, let's remember that SAP is now offering only two planning associated offerings. One is SAP S4HANA with advanced planning. The other one is SAP IBP. It is completely a cloud tool. A question could come, is S4HANA going to be only on premise or is it going to be cloud? I want to hear the answer from you people. What do you think? Is S4HANA advanced planning is going to be only cloud or it is going to be only on premise or what it is? Ricardo, what do you think?
Mm, I think Yeah, difficult to predict that, but maybe cloud, but not our our clients in cloud. I think it's
Hmm.
difficult to happen at least in 5 years, next 5 years.
Hmm. Okay, I take this response. Louis, what is your thoughts?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, Raghu and Kamal, what do you people think?
So, what is your question? Are you saying that this?
S4 HANA is going to be only cloud, or it is going to be only on-premise, or how it is
No,
going to be?
both options will be there because cloud is
Correct,
somebody is offering you that hardware and that server,
correct,
whereas on premise you want to control it, you want to own it.
correct.
So it will be both will be
True.
there.
Yes,
See, I
it's true,
worked
people.
both Google as well as Amazon. They have their own public clouds, but
Correct.
other companies they are using their own on
Still
premise.
on-premise. Very good.
Yeah, but
True
I've
said,
I've compared both the systems, but there are a lot of features that are not activated on the cloud side
I
yet.
agree.
What is
I agree.
available on the premise?
True it is, Raghu, and thanks for sharing your experience with us. So it is true, people, that SAP S4HANA still provides, and it will also provide even in the going forward, the both on-premise and cloud offerings. So just to additionally add, so you all might have heard about it, yeah, of course, what it means by cloud as a solution offering. But just to classify, what are those and how are they different? Let us try to understand them. So we have three terminologies: PAAS, AAAS, SAAS. Does someone want to guess, give a guesswork what it could stand for? Anyone? You heard about these terms, people?
The first one I guess is a public key cloud.
So platform as a service. Next one is application as a service. And the last one is software as a service. And most of the situations you would see platform as a service, right? So where the hardware associated uh, help, or you can say associated responsibility, is taken care by some other service provider like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Alibaba, and so on, who are different cloud services providers who are harvesting the databases for us and providing us the space to store our data, and they are being paid for this service. Okay, so you would ask me, what could be the advantage because of this way of handling the data, Raghu? So we have a topic called TOC, which stands for total ownership cost. So reduction of a total ownership cost is one of the important reason or motto that brings us to use cloud applications, people. So how the overall total ownership cost would come down? To understand this, people, I'll take a simple example. Just imagine I have bought a new car. Let's say I have bought it for $1,000. I'm just trying to, make it a exaggerating number, but to make a simple example, right? So I bought this car for $1,000 and I'm using it. And as the process of its maintenance, let's say every month I should pay to the service provider, let's say $100 as per maintenance. Now you all will agree that Raghu, if you do not make your maintenance on the right time, the efficiency of your car would come down, right, people? You all agree so far? Now, what is the overall cost which I have invested on this car in order to use it in a right way? Is of course $1,000 the cost which I have bought it for, and at the same time $1,200 for its maintenance, and the maintenance cost would increase as it's going older and older. Now, if I just replace this car with a database, you all people might have heard about we had basis consultants, right? Who had to take care of the system availability, does it has right space and so on. So this is what the whole maintenance it would be costing a lot. So for this, what now the platform as a service is offering is that we will take care of your database. You don't have to do anything. You can store the data and it is available to you at any point. So that's the selling point that makes cloud solutions very useful now. Now, what they are going to do is, let's say now it's every month $100 I'm paying them for the same maintenance of this car, but they say we are going to do it in a bulk. So instead of paying $100 for us, you can just pay us, you know, let's say $10 per month for maintenance. Now what happens? Now you can see it's only $1,000 and $120 for my maintenance. This is what we say reduction of TOC, total ownership cost. Okay. Any questions, people? What makes the clients to go for cloud? Is that helpful? Any questions? Silence, I would take it as no, and I'll continue. Okay. Okay. Now, of course, so the offerings of SAP S/4HANA with advanced planning, it would be both on-premise and also cloud. Coming to the cloud, SAP has also introduced new Fieri apps for advanced planning. So they are not huge in list numbers, but maybe going forward in the roadmap, we see they are going to increase a few more Fieri apps. But yeah, so this is also another advantage that makes the clients to look forward for advanced planning. Okay. I should also speak about the extensive level of planning, how it is going to be classified, and on what basis are they going to be doing it. So you all would also agree with me that we do the production planning, we do the capacity planning also in production planning, that is PP module of SAP. ECC it was there, S4 HANA also it is there. So why still advanced planning? So I will have to also mention about live cache enabled system. making easier analysis of transactional data. So I will speak about what is this live cache enabled system and what is difference it brings people. Okay, so you all know how the data is going to be stored in our database, but I want to take a small example and then I will speak about something called row orientation. It is something technical, but I'm sure it is going to help you. Row orientation and something called column orientation. What it means, I'm going to also brief it. You all have experience with production planning. You all would say that, okay, Raghu, we know that whenever we are performing certain transactions, it goes and saves in the background in the database tables. Right, people? Hello? Yes? People, you all can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now, let's say I want to take an example like say sale order punching. I'm speaking about processing of sales orders. So let me take a few important columns. Sales order number, material, plant, customer, order quantity, material availability, date, order, stock in hand. I believe the font of screen is not straining your eyes, people. Please let me know if I have to increase the font of the words. Is it okay to continue on the same font, people? Will someone confirm?
Yes, it is okay.
Great. I'm taking a simple example like say a material called M1, plant called P1, customer called C1, order quantity 100, material availability. We will fill this column later. Stock in hand, let's say before I really punch the sale orders. This, let's say I'm trying to do my starting of my day. So probably I say, for example, I have an inventory of say 1000. So let me fill a few more records. SO2 for same material, same plant for a different customer maybe, and order quantity is let's say 800. Then SO3. Okay. Now, do you all agree that not all sale orders can be confirmed? Can I say that? Because I have overall stock in hand is only 1000, and here of course we have more than 1000 order quantity, right? Just imagine instead of referring them as four different sale orders, let's just imagine these are the four different sale orders raised by four different users, right? User 1, user 2, user 3, and user 4 respectively, let's say. Now you'll also say that, Raghu, the confirmation of SO3 will decide whether SO2, I'm sorry, yeah, the confirmation of SO2 will decide whether the SO3 can be confirmed or not. Do you all agree? Hello? So there is because if I confirm SO2 is already confirmed, so it will be falling short less than what the order quantity is, 250 or also 200. So probably SO2 is going to have some response time, or it is going to affect the response time, let's say. Now, people might have seen this experience, right? Like, for example, if Raghu is changing a material, if some other person also wants to do a change in the same material, it gives you a message. Currently, this user called Raghu is editing this material. You will be allowed for a display. The reason being, in SAP general database, system tries to access the data in a sequence. So it will create a queue where it will be processing one after the other. Now, when we are going to do the order processing, or when we are going to store the data, when we are going to make the transactions, what you will realize is the one of the transaction, like say for example SO2 is handled by a planner who is taking lot of time to confirm the quantity and all, but because of this transaction it also affects sale order 3 and sale order 4 also, let's say. Now that means the material availability date will also be differing because of this sale order. This is the situation because our normal online transaction processing system is doing something called row orientation. To just to give you the direction, it is in this fashion, row orientation. This is the way how the data will be accessed in row orientation. Okay. Now what I'll do is material availability for this I'll confirm on the same day, 06052023. Maybe this fellow is still thinking, should I confirm this order or not? And these two other people are also being affected because of the stock in hand being not not so clear because of this sale order, right? And you are seeing that each sale order it is trying to increase the response time. So the more number of requests comes to the database, the response time will increase. In order to mitigate this type of situation, SAP S/4HANA Advanced Planning comes with something called live cache. I will brief about more about it in our upcoming architectural discussion. And live cache it does column orientation, people. Very important. So in the column orientation, system reads the data in this way. I'll use a different color so that you can realize the difference. It would read the data at a specific node level. So whenever you're going to throw some inquiry, or you're trying to make a request to database, row orientation system will read the records something in this way, but column orientation will read the records in this fashion, only in specific columns. Now if Raghu wants to know how many number of sale orders which were created for material M1, system will read the records record by record in row orientation, like record 1, is it M1 or not? Record 2, is it M1 or not? And then record 3 and record 4. This is the way how it will read. So it will read the whole record, people. Please understand, that's the row orientation. But in column orientation, it just reads. So it wants to know whether the material is M1 or not. It just reads material column, and then accordingly it can get the records. So if I have multiple other records also here, system would know, okay, overall out of 100 records only 4 are belonging to M1. In this way it can conclude. So that's the column orientation which will be used by us in advanced planning. Column orientation will give you more processing uh, time, processing time. It has a more processing. It takes a less processing time, and it will be able to retrieve the records very fast. So why it is needed? Because we are doing advanced planning. In advanced planning, we need to evaluate lot of data. So to do that, we need this type of orientation, that is column orientation, which is achievable using something called live cache. That's the another reason people what makes advanced planning to be very specially treated by the clients, because they are able to see a big difference in the response time of orders, and also to realize how faster the data is being processed. Okay, but we will see the architectural wise how it is being achieved, what are the different settings we have to undergo in this process. But are we clear so far that an advanced planning, it is having live cache based database system, which makes it something special, the way how it is handling the data. Is that clear, people? Questions to me? Row orientation and column orientation.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay, then you people might have heard about the terms very oftenly: MTS, MTO, and MTE. Can you please help me with the abbreviation? What do they stand for?
Make to stock, make to order.
Make to stock, make to order. Perfect. How about this? Any guesswork? Make to engineering. Okay,
We
it's
we
make to
used to
engineering.
have ETO, right? Engineer to order.
ETO or assembled to engineering, they have different terminologies, no doubt, but it is still the same. Raghu,
And also
good that you
CTO,
brought.
configure to order.
Yeah, correct. So, but overall, when we speak in a supply chain process point of view, according to SCOR model, you heard about this, I believe. SCOR stands for supply chain operation and reference model. This would be the terminology. So, yeah, okay. So, according to SCOR, these are the way how you are classifying. Okay, but I want to just ask a simple question: how would you decide for a given process whether it falls into MTS or MTO or MTE? How do you classify it? On what basis do you do it?
Uh,
Yeah.
while the manufacturing or production activities, if we consider the sales order to come and then we will do the production, that in that case we can say that is the scenario is the make to order. And if we doesn't consider the sales order, and instead of the sales order, in spite of receiving the sales order, we if we producing the stock uh, without see whatever the sales order is available with us or like that. So and this kind of production scenario is called make to stock scenario.
hmm this is one additional point. I really appreciate what you have brought up, Tamal. Very good. There's something more refinement we are going to do today in this discussion, which will help us really to classify in the process of making, how generally are they classify, how the business is trying to make this classification. I want to know how comfortable are you with these terms called push processes and pull processes. People, you heard about these terms earlier? Anyone?
No.
Ricardo, Luis and Ricardo. Did you
Mm,
ever heard about this?
I haven't never heard about.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, push process is when you have a kind of demand, and the demand um, you produce according to demand. And pull process, you will be producing the materials according to your availability of components.
Okay, this small. Okay, I'll take one liner definition. Okay.
Mhm.
For example, when I say about push process, a process which is not influenced by the demand in hand is called push process. The vice versa
I
opposite.
mixed. I mixed. So I mixed.
No problem, no problem. And to also to help better understanding how will this push process and pull process will help us to classify the above one, we will realize. Okay, process which is influenced by the demand in hand is called pull process. Now we'll take a very simple example, people. To it also helps us to really go for a quick illustration in our thoughts. Okay, we are speaking about making. So we are in the evening times, few places, people who have joined. So for example, I say making of a sandwich. Very simple example. It's easy for us to realize also. So we'll take a simple list of materials. You all say that BOM, Raghu, it is nothing but bill of materials which are needed. So help me with this. What was needed for me? Bread. Next, veggies, some spices, let's say some butter and some cheese. Let's say these are the different list of materials I need. Right, people? You're all following my example. Is that yes? No? Can I continue? Or questions? I can continue, right, people? Hello? Please confirm if you are able to hear me.
Yeah, yeah, audible.
Okay, 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 great.
Basically, it's a
Then
difference is like the buffet versus the a la carte. Buffet, you push it and pull this is like a la carte depending on each individual customer order.
very, very good, Raghav. Good. So I'm just going to the granular level of operations also. I really appreciate the way how you were also able to bring it to the onto the table, how generally it happens in the day-to-day life. Very good. Let's say, for example, in this process of sandwich, when I say I have three different major operations, I'm just taking the example like chopping, chopping of veggies, let's say. Then I say slicing of bread, and I say assembling of sandwich. I say these are the three different operations I should do. So now we are going to the real example. Like we have bill of materials, we have routing, associated information also. You all come with a production planning background, so I don't have to give you much introduction about it. That's a good thing. Now, but let us see how this make process is going to change and what is some important takeaway point for us. Let's say if Raghu goes to a nearby bakery, which is just next to his home, and he asks for a sandwich. So what would the baker would do is he would give him a, a sandwich which is already prepared before his arrival, right? So was the process of making at any stage, was that affected because of the order which was placed by Raghu? You will say no, Raghu, it was not. So the whole process had more push processes than pull processes. Only thing what Raghu can ask for is how many number of sandwiches? Is it one or two, and how should it be packed? That's it. So he has a very little or very minimum window of options to choose. So that's an example for our make to stock. But just imagine people, instead of bakery, let's say Raghu visits McDonald's, McD. Okay. Now when I go to McD, the moment I place a sandwich order, the service provider would ask me, "Hey Raghu, do you need spices to be added? What do you think? Is the cheese the best option for you to be topped on or no? Do you need a butter or not?" So he would assemble the sandwich only once I place my order. You all people agree with me? Assembling of a sandwich is not done before I placed my order. People, now this specific operation, can I say it's a pull process? Because a process which is influenced by the demand in hand is called as pull process, I mentioned. So it's an example for make to order. You all have understood it very well. So it has push and also it has pull processes in moderate number, right people? So that's the way how I can say whether this business falls into a make to order or it is still a make to stock. You could ask me, but what it would be for make to engineering, Raghu, in that case? So even in the McD, he will never ask me, Raghu, how should I slice your bread? Should it be in triangle? Should it be in square? No, he will never ask me. But just imagine people. I'm a I say that everything the way how a sandwich should look like should be designed according to me. Even the slicing of bread, even the chopping of veggies, they have to be done according to my need. So in that case, everything is pull process, right? So when you have more pull than push, pull is greater than push. So we refer that as make to engineering scenario. So I will say I need my assembling. I will say that the slicing of bread should happen in circular shape. I will say that it should be having the even the veggies which should be chopped. They should be chopped only in square. They should not have any random shapes and so on. So this is the way how I may define. I would make my definition of how the look, the functionality, or the usage, or any other different things which is highly controlled by customer is called as make to engineering people. Now why are we trying to know about this process of make point of view? What is the difference it brings? You all people agree that we are no more in the same way of buying habits point of view as a customers. You all say, Raghu, if 15 or 20 years back, if you want to buy a mobile phone, you go to the service provider. He would give you an already boxed phone. Hardly you may choose a color. That's it. But do you all agree now that we are all having lot of options, Raghu? We should know more about a product. You may want to adopt to the new changes. So depending on this, you are trying to buy a new mobile phone. So it is customer centric markets now, people. I just cannot say that, okay, whatever I have designed, this is the only way how you have to take this. No, that's not the case now. So you see that there is a lot of market needs for customized products now, right, people? Which is, of course, beneficiary for them also. But what we realize is the more pull process it has, the lead times will increase. When I go to a baker or a bakery, I can get my sandwich with less than 1 minute. But maybe when I go for McD, probably I still have to wait 10 or 15 minutes. And just imagine about a make to engineering scenario where I will say customize the sandwich. Imagine. So probably he has to first understand my requirement and then he has to make the sandwich, which is going to take much more time. Now the reality is when we go for these offerings, the lead times are increasing. So ensuring that they have a right validation of lead times, right evaluation of essential capacities which are needed, and then making the order processing is a very important move a client should achieve. This is the other reason, people, why advanced planning is going to make a difference for them in their landscape. Okay, people, questions to me on this example, or how this way of process of making it has been changed. Now, this operations like those which have been influenced by the demand, assembling of sandwich, let's say in the case of McD, let's say, this is what we say it as in supply chain called as postponement. The postponement of operations which they are doing, it could be increasing according to the business case, according to the client industry in which you people are going to work. So the more number of postponements happening according to the order customization, it would of course reach essential material and capacity planning simultaneously, parallelly, to achieve the orders or to achieve the customer's expectations. So though you say, okay, Raghu, I will give you a customized sandwich, fair enough. Whatever you need, I will give it to you. But probably you may have to give more time. For example, I go to McD, he says, yeah, the sandwich will be according to your need, but you may have to give me 5 hours. Do you people expect customers waiting for 5 hours for the sandwich? No, there is a need of push, there is a need of pull. Everything cannot be push or everything cannot be pull in these situations. To what extent of push should be managed? To what extent of pull can be managed by the service provider will help him to realize how he can offer his services. On that basis he can make his planning also. Okay, people, so this is the way how our sessions will continue. We'll take the example, we'll try to know the realization of how it is going to make a difference in the context of the overall process. And then we further, when we deep dive, so of course we will speak about different master data and also the essential configurations and all as we progress within the sessions, which will also give us a legitimate idea about what are the advantages clients are already seeing by using SAP S/4HANA Advanced Planning, which also going to cover about few important pain points they had when they are using the older version offerings like APO. And I strongly believe that in order to appreciate new, you should know about old. What I mean is, if I give you a car which has not an automatic gear, or you have to make your steering, it's a manual, you say it takes lot of efforts, Raghu, and then if I give you an automated car and I give you power steering, you say you will be able to enjoy it, you will be able to uh, realize how simplified the task has become because of making it as power steering, let's say. It's just a simple example. So we will be able to appreciate the new also when we know about little more about the background of the how old used to function. Okay, people, this is what we will also speak in further discussions, where we will realize the architectural changes, what has happened, and how they have made it possible in S/4HANA. What are a few? We are also going to speak about an SAP HANA database point of view. What are the different segments which we should know that makes HANA database very special in the context of data processing? Okay. Any questions to me so far?
Yeah, yeah. Hello. It's a curiosity. I have one point of curiosity. So, you said now that you will expand the functionalities about the old version EPO. So, my curiosity it's about I know that this course it's about S/4HANA and this is that I want, but with this explanation that you will provide about APO, it's possible to work in the old version in the end of this course. I'm asking you because in my company I have EPO and I have another consultant
As
that
for
uh, no, I have EPO in ECC and I will have a PPDS in S4. So, but I have in my team one another person that work in the tickets for APO. So it's possible in the future, in the end of this course, I help this other consultant to attend to 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 work in the tickets from APO, or it's
yes,
not enough.
good.
Yeah.
It's a very good question you have brought, Louis. So whatever you're going to learn in the process of this course, because it's for HANA advanced planning, and as I mentioned, Louis, that I will also speak about how the older framework was. So I'm sure you will realize that lot of things they were lifted and shifted to advanced planning. So what I mean is, so whatever you're learning in S4HANA, they are still applicable in APO also. But there are some changes that we will realize as we progress with the sessions. But major portion is a lift and shift loads. So in that case, of course, whatever you are learning, it is applicable not only for S4HANA, but also for APO. Did I answer your question, Louis?
Yeah, yeah, I guess yes. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Very I really appreciate when you come with these questions, because it also maybe it could be not only question for Louis, maybe but also for some other people. So please feel free, people. I repeat this. Please feel free to ask the questions. That's the way how we can make it more interactive. Great. Okay, so we look forward in the same way for the active participation. Our session will continue for tomorrow for 2 hours. We planned it for a short duration for today because we realized that there are a few other colleagues of, I mean, the new other aspirants who are yet to join, and we don't want them to really miss this topic's very essential one. As I mentioned, that we will start with the gap analysis people. So, just for the others people who have been to the first time in my discussions, so we will really start with the sessions, how they are really classified is I have to explain. The first one would be the gap analysis. The all necessary prerequisites will be discussed in the session. We will never go with assumptions. I will never assume that, okay, maybe Raghu or Taman, they are already aware of what it means by material planning. No, I will not go with that analysis, with that assumption, but rather we will really have a discussion about it. I'll try to take how comfortable you are about those topics. If needed, I will try to also, give some more information about it, and then we will really dive into the actual topic. So this is what we say it as gap analysis session, followed by the training content. The training content is of course a Word document what your respective coordinators. There can be different coordinators people. It's okay, no problem. The people who have sent you the invite to join the link, they should be their first immediate coordinators to whom you can reach out for the training content document which will brief you about the topics. And then of course the user story. The user story is going to be a very essential, helpful aspect for you people because you will speak about the real-time challenge. What are the different players who are going to be involved? What is the business case? And what are the different methodologies you are going to learn? How are you going to adopt them to achieve the problem to be solved? Is what a user story would be. So there is going to be a lot of interactions on this. There's going to be a lot of I would say hands on the system also, by which you will realize how can you, start using this advanced planning tool in your day-to-day interactions with your client also, right? So this is the way how our sessions are planned, people. So yeah, any questions on these three aspects?
See, what is IBP? Is this part of this training?
No, IBP is not part of this training. So it's only the SAP S4HANA advanced planning is only the training which we are going forward. IBP, SAP IBP sessions are planned separately. So we have a different batch for it.
What is
Raghu.
that? What is that and how is it related to this course?
It's not related to this course. I have not mentioned about SAP IBP here, did I?
No, I just want to know. I'm just curious to know what it is.
Okay. Okay. SAP IBP, there is no dependency with this course, I would say. right? So it's an individual course. Um, but we have a handshake between SAP IBP and S4 HANA, Raghu. Like for the
Okay.
topics like response planning, there is a handshake between these two systems, but they can be standard. They do not have any dependency in the course wise point of view. So is knowing an IBP is an essential uh, prerequisite for me to go through this course? The answer is no, not needed.
See, I'm doing a Google search and I'm reading that it combines S&OP.
Yeah, IBP is a different course. If you
Okay.
know more
It
about it, we
focuses
can
on
of course.
bringing inventory, sales, financial, and supply planning process into a single, consistent, and seamless plan. Cloud-based planning solution.
Correct, correct. Now, did you heard somewhere that SAP IBP and S4HANA they are having any dependency? Is what my question was.
No, no, I
That's the
just
question you
started
asked me,
reading
right?
what it is.
Okay.
So
I
is
think
it
that should be
means
fine.
should the one learn IBP first or this course first?
IBP first, not needed. Firstly, you people come with production planning background. So learning this course
Okay.
is firstly, I would suggest very strongly because this is part of still your advanced planning, is still part of your S4 HANA, your execution box, right? So this is the first thing what you can complete. And yes, in order to complete the whole cycle of planning, IBP, learning IBP is also something what I would also suggest. After you got a very well versed understanding about how advanced planning works. So just to give you some more background about IBP, Raghu, Bumareddy. So we have long-term planning, or I will say it as in the context of horizons, long-term, mid-term, and short-term. So short-term associated planning is completely handled with S4 HANA, right? You agree with that point? Hello?
Yes.
But when we come to mid-term and long-term associated different planning features and capabilities, client can go for SAP IBP. Okay, so that's the case where client would switch to SAP IBP. So how does this IBP will come into the framework? How are the new offerings now when we go to the transformation of architecture from the older one to the new one? You will realize how IBP is placing itself in this current scenario uh, with this new offerings which we are having, which we'll understand when we further deep dive with the architecture.
Is IBP a separate server? Is it a separate box
Separate,
or is it comes
separate.
with S4 HANA?
It is separate. This has no relationship
Okay.
with S4 HANA here.
Okay.
Okay. I think all these questions you will
Is
be
it
able
only
to
cloud based or does it have an
only cloud,
on-prem? Okay, it's only on
only
cloud.
cloud.
Okay. So in that case, if somebody is running S4 HANA and wants to implement IBP, then again you have to
They can
develop some
still
interfaces between these two systems.
SAP has already provided one for us, so there's no
Okay,
need.
already established relation
Yeah.
linkages are
Yes.
there. Integration is already there.
Yes.
Okay.
Both are SAP offerings or both are products are SAPs, so they have did this homework already. Yeah. Good question.
So
Uh,
if somebody is using only this one advanced planning, can't they do long-term planning using this?
there are a lot of features and functions which are available to achieve long-term planning in SAP IBP. Long-term planning in
Okay.
SAP PP we already have, right? Additional to
Okay.
that, there are a lot of forecasting associated, let's say, to just to give you some more background of why IBP, but I don't want you to get confused people, especially the audience here who are for S4HANA. So
Mhm.
IBP has a few more or multiple features of making the forecasting and more efficiently. That makes it special. So, which is again in the context of long term, right?
Okay.
Okay, then. So Any other questions to the topics which we discussed today, people, so far?
No, to make it sure, so the focus this course is PPDS. So we will not see about DDMRP or PMRP, or it's possible to see a little bit about it, or
Uh, DDMRP is not part of S4HANA advanced planning, but we can take it as a topic, as a, I would say it as a tailored session specifically, Louis. We will take that as additional discussion, right?
yeah,
We can do that. Yes, sure.
yeah, yeah. The focus here
Fine.
is PPDS. No,
I'm sorry. Repeat.
the focus here is PPDS.
Yeah, the focus will be on PPDS. Correct. True. It is.
Okay, okay, okay.
See, in this advanced planning, how is the ATP functionality improved? You talked about material availability date, MAD. So is there
Hmm.
a process improvement, or in the configuration they added more parameters to the configuration, means ATP rule, check rule and those things? And for
Yeah, advanced
scheduling, have
ATP.
they made improvements on the work center capacity planning or scheduling tabs of the work center?
Yeah, so they have come with advanced ATP, the one of the new module, which is a replacement of GATP Raghu, which has a very strong relationship between how the order processing can be achieved with more complete evaluation of the capacity. So that is what they are achieving. That's the reason why I was saying that reliable MAD.
And regarding the work center, have they made any
Yes,
changes or improvements to the work
work
center?
center point of view, already the way how we read in normal work center and how advanced planning evaluates that is going to be different. That we will of course realize once we dive onto the master data, because even we will not say it as work center. We have a different naming mapping also in advanced planning. How are they mapped? What are the few naming conventions which we follow, and how are they, I would say, extracted from S4HANA? That also we will realize in our sessions.
So can you show something on the system? Because I have attended a training sessions in the past, not in this topic, but in materials management in S4HANA. That guy, he did not
You will be
have
able to get
sufficient
the.
knowledge in that subject, and then he developed cold feet when I asked certain topics. And in order to save his face in front of the other audience, he sent me out of the training and refunded my money. And hoping that I'll not see that kind of disappointments, that's why I want you to maybe show something on the system
That's fine. We can
as part
still
of the
go into the
demo.
system. Not on today, because all
Mhm.
of our and I have to mention this as a
Okay,
trainer. It will be not me who will share the screen. It will be you people
okay,
who are the
okay,
audience, and I will be just a speaker, and I will
okay,
guide you to work on the
okay.
system. It's not me. So this is what I
Yeah,
practice. I think Ricardo, if
I
you
like it.
remember,
I like it
this is
because
the way how
ne-
the sessions.
I I like your approach, because when you teach driving to somebody, you let the trainee sit on the driver's seat and guide him. That's what I like it.
Yes. So is the part of this course all configuration to work with the PPDS configs like logical system and other transactions involved. So logical systems, Ricardo, just to mention, it is not being maintained. So there was one question by Ricardo. I'm just trying to answer it. So Ricardo, it is not being maintained by us, the logical system, but what are the transactions we should use? How do they look like? That awareness we will bring to you. Okay, but as a functional consultants, we will never maintain this. But yes, we will have to know how to observe them, what are the transactions associated, and some basic background about it. We can expect that discussion for sure, Ricardo. Good question you brought up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but will we be doing exercises like I have a system, a client without PPDS, and creating that from the zero.
I don't think so. You can do that because there is a few more homework a basis consultant should still do it for you before he
Mhm.
says it is, your live catcher is active and so on. So there is still a basis help is still needed. It's not completely ruled out. No, but the test systems which you will be provided with, you can play around as you all know. So that still gives you an opportunity to, just to see, okay, how can I use this transaction, what would they do in this transaction. Those things, of course, you will be having the freedom to do the changes, no doubt. But it's not completely functional consultant's job to configure the system. It is still, there is still a basis part is still there. They got, yeah.
Okay, okay. But the on-hand exercises we will have during the course,
You
right?
will, of course, it's not just exercises, right? As I was mentioning, it will be you
Mhm.
people who will drive the session. It will be you people
Okay.
who will be working on the screens. I will be just a speaker. I say, hey, please, can you go to this transaction? Can you please select that specific one and then do that same, all those things. That's the way we are going to drive. Okay.
And that
Uh-huh.
will be, sir, really helpful for us actually. This kind of
Correct. This is what the process I have been following people since many batches for more than 8 years now. And I'm sure this is going to work for you all people also in a very good way. Let's also see that in the sessions and make it more interactive. Yeah, this is what I would be hoping. Yeah. Okay then. So firstly, I would want to really appreciate the way how the discussions happened. I have seen a very good participation from all of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for giving us this wonderful opportunity. The way how we are going to make our sessions more tailored, you will see that, you will experience that as we further, go into our sessions. And yes, uh, you will be provided with the systems people which you will be using in your sessions further, which will help you to also not only just look at the topics theoretically, but also to realize them the systems, right? Okay, so I will be choosing the volunteers accordingly, and we will also start working on the system. Okay, then, great.
yes.
So
Okay.
let's call off for the day, and I wish you a nice day ahead, and see you tomorrow, same time. The
Okay.
the link to join the session will be provided to you by your coordinator respectively. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I guess
Thank
it's the same link, because this link was for tomorrow. I
It
guess
would
it's
be
the
the
same
same,
link.
but if there's it
Yeah.
would be the same mostly. But if there is a change, they will still will let you know. I think that they will be
Uh,
giving you an update, Louis.
okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. We got a message from Sana that was a
Okay.
problem with the environment.
Uh-huh.
Did you know if the issue was fixed?
That's the reason why I'm not sure if this is going to be a same link because there was some impediment they found, but it's okay. They should be able to fix it by tomorrow. So they should be able to give you a new link if needed. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not sorry, but it's not about the link. It's about the environment, the machine. So
the
Sana
machine.
told us, yeah, Sana told us that happened some problem with the machine and the basis was working that. So I don't
I'll
know.
take a feedback from them. I'll just let her
Okay,
know what about it, and maybe if needed, she will give you a call, Louis. Yeah.
okay. Thanks.
Okay. Great then. Thank you all. So we'll now close the session.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. See you.